Hi everyone, Nessie here. I'm going to do a video on decorating the paper bag album. I actually did a video yesterday. It was about 45 minutes long, showed you how to do quite a few things, finished it and then discovered it had cut out after 7 minutes. So I'm doing another one. The only problem is I've started decorating mine, but I don't think it'll be a problem. So firstly, I wanted to talk to you about kits because I use kits a lot, and I use them because I think they're quite versatile and I like them, to be honest. Now, this is obviously quite a small journal, and as you can see, kits print out quite big. I've torn bits off of this one, but you get the idea of how big they print out compared to the journal. So what I actually do is I print 2 to a page. So that would be the normal page of the kit. I print 2 to a page, like so. I do this whether I'm doing a full journal or a small journal, because I then use these as turn them into like journaling cards and tags and embellishments and things. This, even at this size, is a lot bigger than what I've used in the kit, as you can see. But all I do is choose which part of the page I want, and then I trim it down to the size that I want. So I wanted the bicycle on this one, so I trimmed it down and to the size I wanted. I also do this with embellishment pages. Like, you get these full ones, and then I will print 2 to a page. These are great for clusters, smaller journals, embellishments and all things like that. I will also, if I'm doing a full journal, crop pages in half to give me bigger journaling cards or images in my kits. The other thing I do with kits is I use parts of pages. So in this journal, for example, here I wanted plain bits, so I just cut the centers out, and then I will use the edges on another part, like here. This is why I use kits. I like them. They are versatile. If you think out of the box, you can do quite a bit with them. So yesterday I inked my bag. I ink all of it, all the edges. I like inking. I trimmed my papers down and I inked all the edges. For my full pages, like this, I trimmed the pages down to it was 5 7/8 by 5. For a pocket I did 3 by 5, and for next to the pockets I did 2 3/4 by 5. And then for the back page, the long one, I did it all in one piece, and that one is, I think it's 9, yeah, it's about 9 inches by 5. So I inked them all, stuck them in. Then what I do after that is I go through my journals page by page. I decide what I want to do on each page, and then I will stick a sticky note on. Like, for example, on this page I'm going to do a cluster on the pocket, so this will be the main part of my cluster. So I paper clip that to the page. Sticky note says cluster. This page is going to have a flip up. This is what I will use for the flip up, so I stick it to the page. This will be a pocket. This is a pocket. Here I'm going to do a flip up and a belly band. Now, I can't show you how I stuck my pages on in this one because the video cut out yesterday, but I have started doing a Christmas one. So this is going to be my Christmas one, and I've already stuck down a lot of the pages in this one, but I haven't done the back pages. So, but it's pretty simple. I didn't really want to do a video of how I trim all my pages down and stick them all in and ink them up. It's not really something I feel people really want to watch, but it's pretty much just gluing them down really. Now, I would also sometimes sew on these before gluing them in. Just glue round, just sew round the edges with decorative stitching before I glue it in. I haven't done it on this one, but I tend to do a lot of sewing in my journals, and that is something I would normally do. Is that good? Oh, that's a bit big, that one. I think I've cut it wrong. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave that one because I've cut it wrong. I'll cut that down, trim it down. I'll stick this one in. I must have made a mistake on that one. It's a bit big. I'll trim it down later and glue it in. But it's just really showing you how we glue these pages in, these cards in. Now, I've used a kit on this one. That's why, it's because I've done them the wrong way round. Yeah, I've done them the wrong way round. I wanted, okay, I'm going to have to do both of those. Sorry. I've done them the wrong way round. I wanted the plain bit here and the patterned bit there. Let's do this one. But I'm sure you get the gist of how they glue on. Yeah, like I was saying, in this one I've used a kit and patterned papers on all of my pages, the Christmas one. But in the other one, the autumn one I'm doing, which is my DT project, I have actually covered some of the pages in music paper and book pages. But you could use anything. You could use scrap paper, old paper, patterned papers. I'm just going to try and wipe that off so I can close it. And so you just glue the pages down like so. On this one is another full page that will go there. And again, it's just a case of gluing them down. I'm really sure that none of you need to be told how to do this. It's just a case of cutting it to size, inking it up if you want to. Obviously you don't have to. I like inked pages. And then sticking them down to cover the bag. It also helps reinforce the pages of your bag. Now, the other thing that I did was, we have these gaps at the top. Do you see these? Now I've left these open on the tops because I'm going to put flip ups, but on the bottom I glued them all shut. So they are all glued shut at the bottom, like so. Anyway, that's enough of that one. We'll get back to the one we were doing, which is this one. So yesterday I did a couple of clusters on my pockets, as you can see. Pocket here and a pocket here. I done clusters with the bicycle. On this page I did a flip up with a tuck spot on it. Here we have a tuck spot on here as well. This is my pocket and a tuck spot here. That's as far as I got yesterday, and the video cut out. So this page I'm leaving clear. This side I'm going to do a cluster, which is just as well because you missed me doing the cluster yesterday. So what I'm using for the clusters in these books is I have some Hessian trims. They're quite autumny. I have some little doilies that I've been using. I also use this stuff. It's like a gauze. I think you can get this at Boots, and mine's been tea dyed. Then I use ribbons. I also use, not ribbons, laces. I have a pouch here which is all full of my little scraps that I will use on clusters. The beauty of clusters is you get to use your scraps up. Then I will also use scrap paper. Now I normally use book papers, music papers on them, but because this has a base of a book paper, music paper, it's not a book paper, then I will take coloured scraps from scrap pads like this, or I will take parts off of pages like these. I will tear a bit off that's got a bit of a pattern on it. Like, let me see, which one shall I use? Just trying to find a bigger one. Let's use this one. So I'll use this one. And I will just, as it's got flowers, I'll use this side. Just tear off a piece. And then I just basically wing it, really. You just I ink the edges. I don't really like white edges, but it's just a case of layering them up, really. I've inked all my edges in this journal using the Tim Holtz Distress Ink Vintage Photo, and then I just generally lay them down. Where's that gone? Use a bit of this scrap pad, just tear off a piece, ink it down. And then I will just glue them down, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue them down. I also will use buttons, charms, flowers, things like that. I'm not going to use any buttons or charms in these clusters because it's quite a small album and I don't know if the weight would work. Glue that down. Then I will just cut off a bit of Hessian, just a little square. Glue it down. And again, I'm just using a tacky glue here. Cut off a bit of this gauzy. No, not that side. I'll think I'll put the doily on top of there, to be honest. See, now sometimes I'd put a button in the centre of that. And then I would just put the flower on top. How should I do it? I think I'll do it like that. I print out a lot of kits and end up with a lot of leftover sheets. And so with the leftover sheets, I put them back in the printer and print on the other side, so I'm not wasting the paper. So a lot of the stuff I'm gluing, you'll see, has stuff on the back. And there, that's my cluster for that one. Now, most of the pockets have clusters on, or pockets, tuck spots on. So a lot of the embellishments are going to be in this section of the fire folder. So when I'm doing my flips, like I'm going to do on this page, I'm not going to do full size flips because it will add more bulk to this side. So I'm just going to do small flips on the outsides so that it fits. Now for this flip here, I used a journal card, attached it to some card and a tuck spot. For this flip, I've cut out a shrunken down page, and I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to back that also on cream card. So how I did the flip was with it's just normal cream cardstock like this. So this is how this measures. This is where I need my post-it notes. I need to write everything down, sorry. So this is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. But I need to add an inch at the top for my flap. So that would be 5 3/4. And then I'm going to add an 1/8 to give it a bit of a border. So that would make that 5 7/8. And this would be 3 1 2 3/8. 3 3/8 and 1 2 3 4 5 6, yeah, 7/8. So if that makes sense. So I'm going to, hopefully this piece will be big enough. What do we want it? We want it 3 3/8. So that's 3 1 2 3/8. And 5 by 7/8. So it's 5 by 7/8 is there, and it's just a little bit too short, so I will need another piece. Let's see. 3 3/8. 1 2 3 takes it to there. And then 5 7/8 would take it to there. And then I'm just going to score that at 1 inch at the top for my flap. No, I need it that way because it's the flap. It's quite a big flap, but I know it fits inside the pocket. and then I will ink that. That is going to be inked. Now, usually when I do things like this, I back them with tea dyed paper. Look, I need a new blade on my trimmer. Oh, went a bit smudged there, but that's okay. It's tearing the paper a bit. So, but yeah, I usually back them with tea dye paper, but as this is just plain card, I'm not going to back it. I am just going to ink it up. And what I'm also going to do is, I think I will stamp an image on that as well, so it's not too plain. What shall I stamp on that one? Let me see. I am going to stamp some mushrooms on it, just a little mushroom in the corner, like so. Just gives it a bit decorative. Let me just grab this old ink pad. This is just a cheap old ink pad. It's actually running out. There we have it, just a little mushroom on that one. Oh, sorry, I knocked the camera. That must be shaking quite a bit. I do apologise. And then on this side, I'm just going to glue that onto there like so. Just glue it down. Now on my other flip up I did a tuck spot, but I don't think I'm going to do a tuck spot on this one. I think what I will do is a little bit of lacing. Now I'll do this one. It's quite a pretty little lace just across the bottom, so we need to cut that at about there. Do a bit of gluing. And I would probably sew along that, to be honest, as well. I might do that at a later date. I'm not going to get my sewing machine out now, and I will show you what it's like, but I will do a decorative stitch on that. Now, to put it in the book, it's going to go in the flap at the top. I glued all the bottom ones down. I've left the top ones open to add flaps. Not adding flaps to every page, flip ups, but this will sit in there like so. So what I'm going to do now is my gluing. So I want to glue the whole thing shut, so I'm going to, don't know if you can see that. Hold on, I'll show you when I've put the glue in. So I'm just putting glue in like on the bottom of the flap, like so. And then I am going to put glue just on the top bit of here because it needs to glue to the top of the bag. Don't need to put it on the bottom because I'm not going to put it right to the edge. I'm just going to put it in a bit. Fold it over. I'm not going to put it right to the edge. See if that works. Yeah, that flips up and down. And then just stick that down like so. And there's my flip up. Oh, I love this kit. I love the colours in this kit. One of my favourites of hers, I think. Okay, on this page I've covered my pages. This one has book paper on, and I've decided I'm going to put a little pocket on this one, on the front there, with a little pocket. And this again is one of the journaling cards. It was a long one, and I've just cut it down, and because I've cut it down I've got this plain bit here, so I'm going to put a bit of lace on that. Yep, I think I'll use that bit there. So I'm just going to put a line of glue here. And I will stick that one down. Now, somewhere I bought some leaf charms yesterday. Let me see if I can find them, because I think I might add a little charm to that one. Oh, sorry about my noisy chair. Where did I put them? No, can't find those. They might be in the other room. Alright, I'll add that at a later date, but I think I might add a little leaf charm to that. I do actually have oh, if I can pick it up, a couple of these little bicycle charms. It's a bit big for that pocket, but I'm probably going to use those somewhere in there. But anyway, so just a little bit of lace trim.